And a very good evening to you. This is KBC Channel 1. You are watching Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha, Arora. Of course, you can catch up with us on social media. Hashtag is Easy Friday, of course, at Shiksha, Arora and at KBC Channel 1. Tell us where you're watching from. Remember, we'll be giving you the top stories tonight. And later on Spotlight, I'll be speaking to the phenomenal. Her name is Fena Gitu, and she's releasing a brand new song, of course, dedicated to her mother. So we'll be talking about that. Plus, remember, there is a lot that's going on, including the price of a popular commodity that we can't do without. That is supposed to go up. And also, Unga, there's a lot of debate on that, and that President William Ruto has promised is going to be going down, and that's his promise to Kenyans. So let's look at all those matters. But for now, it's time for the highlights.
Kuanzia next week mutaanza kuona bei ya unga ikiteremuka kwa sababu ile itakuwa imefika.
President Ruto hints at a cheaper maize flour in 7 days, dismissing Azimio la Umoja Sufuria campaign as misguided.
You shut down those brewing dens permanently. And you don't shut them down and go away. You police them to make sure that they will never reopen.
Sobering up the mountain, Central Kenya leaders launch war on illicit brew across Mount Kenya. And it is indeed a salty affair as the price of a popular household commodity goes up. Welcome to this live broadcast. This is Easy Friday on KBC Channel 1, and our top story tonight. President William Ruto now says his administration will lower the prices of maize flour beginning next week. Speaking on Friday after commissioning the Mavoko water supply project in Machakos County, the head of state assured residents that the government is working on modalities of lowering unga prices. Take a look.
President William Ruto was in Mavoko constituency of Machakos County to commission the 2.7 billion shillings Mavoko water supply project. The project is expected to serve more than 500,000 people in Mavoko, Athi River, Mlolongo and Syokimau. It is here where the president disclosed that the price of maize flour will come down in the coming days.
Nimepanga ile tunaagiza kutoka nchi za nje. Na hiyo niliwatangazia ya kwamba kufikia mwisho wa wiki hii ambaye ni kesho, sasa itakuwa imefika hapa Kenya. Kuanzia next week mutaanza kuona bei ya unga ikiteremuka kwa sababu ile itakuwa imefika.
Speaking on Friday, the president stressed that his government is keen to lower the cost of living.
Kama unataka kutatua shida ya unga, unaenda kuanza shambani. Si ndio? Kwani unaanza kwa duka? Si unaenda kuanza shambani? Sasa mimi nimepanga wakulima na nimewasajili wakulima 500,000 na nimewapatia mbolea mifugo 600,000. Saa hizi wakulima wanapambana kule shambani. Tunaelewana? Ili tuzalishe chakula, tuondoe hii tatizo ya njaa.
He added that anti-government riots will not result in any reduction in the cost of living.
Wawaje kusumbua mimi na sufuria kwa kichwa. Wangoje mimi nipange hii maneno. Kwa sababu walikuwa na nafasi ya kupanga, walishindwa. Si ndio walizubaa mpaka bei ya unga ikafika 230. Sasa wawaje kutuletea Kiingereza mingi.
President William Samoei Ruto said the government will upscale investment in the sustainable water-related infrastructure. He noted that this will ensure that the country is water secure.
Tuko na mradi ingine tunafanya hapa Machakos Town. Hapo tuko na mradi ya shilingi 1.5 bilioni ya kuongeza maji ya Machakos Town na kupanga sewage, ndio Machakos Town ikae kama city. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Na hiyo mpango mimi nataka niwahakikishie, tumeongea na viongozi wenu wote, na hiyo mpango tutakamilisha na nitarudi hapa kuifungua rasmi.
Tukiongea sasa hivi already nimechimba 16 dams. Boreholes nime rehabilitate karibu 10. Tuko na zingine 47 zinataka kutengenezwa.
Moving on, controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie of the Good News International Church in Malindi has surrendered himself to the police. Now, Pastor Mackenzie presented himself to the Malindi Directorate of Criminal Investigation DCI officers Friday afternoon, and 4 of Mackenzie's followers succumbed to death, while 11 others are admitted to hospital after allegedly going for days without food following the preacher's radical teachings.
Pastor Mackenzie presented himself to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation officers Friday afternoon at a time the Malindi Sub-County Security Committee was touring Shakahola area in Chakama location, where 4 of his followers died and 11 others were rescued by police Thursday. An urgent security meeting was held at the Malindi Deputy County Commissioner's office led by Assistant County Commissioner Angela Wanyama early Friday, where committee members resolved to visit the area where hundreds of Pastor Mackenzie's supporters are believed to be starving to death in order to meet their maker.
Kadi zake si zile ambazo ni za Kikristo, tunaona kama ni radicalization.
During the operation, 4 more people were rescued from their fasting and taken to the Malindi Sub-County Hospital where 11 others are recuperating.
Mackenzie atoke ndani ya Chakama, simuhitaji tena. Security team, muwe muna uchunguzi, mufanye nini, mimi simuhitaji hapa Chakama.
Mzee wangu sahihi alifariki. Hakuna mzee.
The bodies of the deceased person were taken to the facility's mortuary pending identification and post-mortem.
So tuko hapa na families zenye ziko na watu wao ambao wengine hawajapatikana, na wale ambao wamefika hapa wengi pia hawajakuwa identified, kwa sababu hii ambao tunajua kwa ni cultism imeenda nje, si hapa Kilifi bali nje ya Kilifi.
Sasa tumeshangaa, hata sisi tumeokoka, lakini hii dini ni dini gani? Kesi za watoto wawili wametoroka kwa Mackenzie wakiwa wamefungwa miguu kwa sababu wamewekwa kwa mfungo, na wenyewe wakakata kamba wakaingia kwangu, ni hata nimekuwa nao karibu muda wa miezi miwili.
Meanwhile, pastors in Malindi have distanced themselves from the embattled pastor, saying his teachings are not backed by the word of God.
Kile kinaendelea kwa sababu kuna wale wanalaumu kanisa, kanisa. Hii si mambo ya kanisa, hii ni mambo ya mtu binafsi.
Hata kama jambo hili liko kotini, tumekuja kuilaani. Na tunasema ya kwamba kama kuna mke wako yuko kule, tafadhali kabla hajafa nenda umchukue.
Lakini Mackenzie anadanganya watu. Hii mafundisho yake ni mapotofu. Na mimi na yalani.
Mimi na imani governor akikasirika hii biashara itakwisha hii ya Mackenzie.
Timothy Kipnoso for Easy Friday.
Now, the Ministry of Health says the illness that caused 4 deaths at Mukumu Girls High School and left scores hospitalized was as a result of diarrhea and typhoid fever. The ministry further said data analyzed indicates that the disease started on the 1st of March 2023. The ministry has, however, ruled out cases of aflatoxin.
The Ministry of Health has for the first time responded officially to the incidents of both Mukumu Girls and Butere Boys High Schools following a mysterious disease that left 3 students and teacher dead. According to a statement from the ministry, the unknown disease was as a result of enterotoxigenic coli and Salmonella typhi bacteria that causes diarrhea and typhoid respectively. The disease, according to the ministry, presents fever, abdominal pain, vomiting and diarrhea. The ministry, however, ruled out any possibility of aflatoxin. The statement says the disease usually occurs if water sources are contaminated with microorganisms. The Ministry of Health has cautioned the surrounding community in Mukumu and Butere to observe proper hygienic measures such as boiling or drinking. Kakamega County Governor Fanidas Barasa, who visited students admitted to various hospitals, urged the public to seek medical checkups if they experience the signs described by the Ministry of Health.
We urge our parents out there, wherever they are, to take our girls to the nearest government facilities for thorough medical checkup. One thing that we've seen is all our girls who came here early enough, they have really improved, and that's why it's very important that any student presenting those symptoms to take early checkup in our government facilities. Request our parents is we should not procrastinate on this matter. Anytime we present those symptoms, we quickly seek medical examination in a nearest government facility.
Pauline Nasimir for Easy Friday.
Absolutely, and having a stomach flu or a stomach bug or any sort of stomach-affiliated illness, it is not a joke. Currently suffering as well, went to the hospital, so just as the Ministry of Health have said, make sure you don't procrastinate and go and present yourself to the nearest hospital to go and get checked should you have any of these symptoms. All right, with that, it's time for us to take our first commercial break, but we will be back in just a moment. Don't go too far. This is Easy Friday.
To get Skizatune Hail Mary, dial *811 *963#.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
To get Hail Mary, dial *811 *963#, *811 *963#.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatarajia ukanyange hatua mbele. Wengine wametawaliwa na uchawi, wakati wao umefika. Wewe umenitazama siku ya leo. Neema na kibali cha Bwana kikawe juu ya maisha yako.
Ni kubwa, ni mingi, ni tamu, ni yako na ni moto. Tumengojea sana show ya Kikenya ambayo inatuelewa na inatujali na pia inajumuika nasi katika magumu ya maisha. Guess what? We have it. The Lotto Moto Show! Uko na uwezo wa kujishindia hadi 2 million Kenyan shillings kupitia draw yetu popote unapotutazama. Na tuko na haja ya kusikia story na magumu unayoyapitia. Tutakuita kwenye show na tutarahisisha mahali. Nafasi za wageni watatu zipo katika kila show ambao wanajipatia fursa ya kujichagulia sanduku moja kati ya 12. Kila sanduku liko na zawadi kem na za kipekee. With lots of fun, lots of prizes and money. Lotto Moto coming to you soon. Only on KBC. See ya.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha Arora and our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Mwaura. Now, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua on Friday waged war on illicit brews in central Kenya. Speaking at a consultative forum in Nyeri, Gachagua noted that illicit brews have destroyed the family structure, saying there is a need for concerted efforts to end sale of the illicit brew and substance abuse. Take a look.
On Friday, leaders from the Mount Kenya region convened a multi-stakeholder forum in Nyeri to discuss the status and strategies of ending illicit brew and substance abuse in the region. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua presided over the event, said there is a need to diagnose what is ailing the region for a proper prescription.
Vijana wetu wameisha. Kwa kitanda, instead ya kulala kwa kitanda juu, wanalala chini. Wamama ndio wanalala juu peke yao. Ukienda shule zetu zote, the classrooms are empty.
Gachagua further noted that the consultative forum was the beginning of many others and that more will be held across the country.
Within a week, you shut down those brewing dens permanently. And you don't shut them down and go away. you police them to make sure that they will never reopen.
The DP maintained that nobody will be spared if the government's efforts to end illicit brew in the region were to bear fruit.
Let us know what ails us. What is it must we do? We have the support of the president and he's waiting. He has told me by 7 p.m. today he wants a report. He cannot accept the situation. He cannot. Neither can I. And none of you should accept this situation. It is not right. It is not fair. It is not acceptable. We must deal with it as leaders. And we are here, we are all leaders.
On his part, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki said the government is committed to ending drug and alcohol abuse, regardless of the state of the players in the illicit business. The CS added that alcohol and drug abuse is one of the top 3 security issues in the country, after banditry and terrorism.
Having profiled the problem of alcohol and drug abuse as part of the top 3 national security threats, we will support the national effort to tackle this problem with the same vigor, commitment, focus, and finality that we are continue to apply in the other 2 threats which I've identified, which is the fight against terror and the fight against bandits.
We shall do and endeavor to do whatever it will take. If there are laws that we need to change, it will not take us more than 3 weeks to do public participation and push those bills or amendments that we need to do. Because we must rescue, as you said, Your Excellency, a generation of young people that is going to waste. In another 10 to 15 years, this region will not have any productive young people.
We should take a bold decision. How many bars, for example, should there be in Kagio, which only has 5,000 people? There should be a limit. Not every other shop should be a bar. Not every other shop should be a bar and restaurant.
Now, it is almost normal in Kenya for prices of sugar, unga, fuel and other household goods to go up. But how often does the price of salt go up? Quite rare indeed. But for the first time in many years, the price of the seasoning is expected to go up, though marginally. One of the biggest salt processors in the country has announced an increase in wholesale prices of salt by 1,000 shillings per ton, or 1 shilling a kilo.
You see, the prices of salt going up may not have any impact on my pocket. In fact, it is not going to have any. But the news of salt prices going up, this is supposed to worry any policymaker worth their salt.
Salt, sugar and spices occupy an important role in our daily diet and are consumed in one form or another. Salt is used on many occasions. The condiment is essential for growth, maintaining water electrolyte, balance and proper digestion, absorption as well as elimination of wastes. In fact, salt and not sugar is quoted in the Bible when Jesus Christ told his followers to be like salt to transform the world. Though salt has been around for millennia, it is one of the cheapest household items. In Kenya, the price of 1 kilo of salt averages 35 shillings. It has been like this for many years, but soon the price of the commodity is set to go up. A statement by KenSalt, one of the leading processors of salt in the country, says that it has been forced to increase its prices by 1,000 shillings per ton plus value-added tax. The new prices of the commodity will come into force from Saturday 15th, 2023. Upon learning the news, Kenyans had the following to say.
Hii news ya chumvi kupanda imetushock sana kama wase wa food. Kwanza inakuwa tu aje chumvi inapanda.
Chumvi ndio main kwa chakula. Bila chumvi hakuna venye chakula itatest. Sasa inabidi tu hata kama ni bei gani iendelee tu, lakini serikali angalia maneno. Juadi chumvi siku hizi inapanda na si kitu kawaida.
Are we not manufacturing this salt here? Then how is it coming up all the time?
such a things. If salt is going up and it is the one that we can get locally here, then we have a problem. Because even in my house I say, if I don't have salt in my house, then I'm very broke to the ground.
And that story is definitely going to be leaving a salty taste in all our mouths. Now, moving on, the High Court has temporarily suspended the decision by the Kenya government to contract Zambian farmers to grow maize for exclusive exportation to Kenya. In a statement to newsrooms, the High Court Judge Mugure Tande has stopped the implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding between Kenya and Uganda to produce maize in Zambia for exports to Kenya. Farmers' Party of Kenya had filed a case against the government over its decision to contract Zambian farmers to carry out large-scale cultivation of maize for export to Kenya.
Under the certificate of urgency filed on Wednesday, April 12, 2023, the Farmers' Party of Kenya termed the move to contract Zambian farmers unreasonable, irrational, illegal, and in gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya. The party, which has been on the front line agitating for the interests of farmers, argued that it's illogical for the Kenyan government to engage the Republic of Zambia to produce maize for Kenya, whereas Zambia is also struggling with a similar challenge. Led by their lawyer Irungu Nyekira, they argued that the decision where the two governments are supposed to enter into a contractual agreement where Zambia farmers will grow maize solely for export to Kenya is tantamount to admission of failure of duty by the Agriculture CS and by extension the government of Kenya to support and provide the enabling infrastructure for Kenyan farmers to produce food locally. The petition and application will be served on the 19th of April 2023, whereas the responses to the petition and application will be filed and served on the 3rd of May 2023. However, the matter will be mentioned on the 16th of the same month. Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
In Gitaru village, Kabete constituency of Kiambu is contemplating abandoning the body of their kin who is detained at the Kenyatta University Referral Hospital over an uncleared bill. The family says they have only managed to raise 40,000 shillings out of the required close to 1 million shillings.
Is a father in distraught. The body of son Liston Kinothia has been lying at the Kenyatta University Referral Hospital mortuary for a month now over huge hospital bill.
Siwezi kulipa hiyo sababu mimi siwezi kuiona, sina kazi, sina kitu naweza uza. Mimi iko hivyo tu. Kwa hivyo nimekata kauli, mimi na watoto yangu tunauliza serikali inaweza kusaidia sisi.
According to the family, they have literally sold every of their property for their kin's medical bills only for him to succumb from the long illness.
Sisi hatuna kitu. Kwa hivyo naomba tu hospitali tuonee huruma, tusikie huyo mtu wetu juu tumesidwa kabisa kuona pesa.
The hospital wants the family to pay at least 3/4 of the bill, which they were still unable to raise.
Kila wakati watu wao wanakufa, wanauza kila kitu. Hata hapa tunaongea, hii vitu mnaona ni kupatio ni wananchi.
Besides living in a dilapidated house, the family has 2 of its members who are disabled. Local residents are now appealing for assistance from well-wishers. For Easy Friday, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
Now, the Noon Kopere Secondary School in Kajiado East Sub-County, Kajiado County, has been closed until Monday after a 4-day standoff between the administration and students over claims of cases of lesbianism in the institution. The students faulted the administration for burying their head in sand over the matter.
For the past 4 days, tension at Noon Kopere Secondary School in Kajiado East Sub-County has been building between the students and the school administration. The bone of contention being suspected cases of lesbianism in the school. Students claiming the school management had played a deaf ear on their matter. The building tension and standoff prompting the school administration to send all students home.
Upon consultation, we're advised to send the children home to ensure that there is no destruction of property within the school. This is a normal land rest that the board managed.
The students are expected to report back to school on Monday, where their plight is said to be given an ear by the school administration and the Kajiado County Education Office.
That's why we want to run an investigation, and we have called. They'll be called here next week in a certain sequence.
Frederick Parsayo, Easy Friday.
Aviator instant game. Be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
The Retirement Benefits Authority, RBA, will be holding a clinic at Nyeri's Huduma Center from the 17th to the 21st of April 2023. Our officers will be on hand to answer any questions you may have on saving for retirement, information on the process of filing a complaint with RBA and the resolution process, technical assistance on RBA online tools like the Whistleblower Portal, RBA mobile app, the process of registration and licensing of retirement benefit schemes. Remember, anyone with an income can save for retirement. Come know more about which retirement benefits scheme you can join. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Differently. I used to record one of your programs, which was being done by James Onyango Joel, or JOJ, it was called Zilizopendo. So I used to record golden oldies for my father, so that when he comes and in the evening, he could play back the song. So that is where my enthusiasm for, disc jockeying began. Differently abled.
Welcome back. Now, details of the findings of the IEBC service scrutiny that the Supreme Court undertook on the 1st of September 2022 and that has been the subject of a protracted battle between the opposition and the Kenya Kwanza government are now in the public domain. According to the report, no suspicious activities were detected.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya leader Raila Odinga has been seeking to be granted access to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission servers. Kenya Kwanza, on the other hand, has maintained that the issue was addressed by the Supreme Court and that any further questions should be directed there.
Opposition is within its rights to seek a review under the Constitution and under the law from the Supreme Court on the issue of any servers that they think was not done by the Supreme Court. They can go back to the same Supreme Court.
Details of the ICT inspection, tallying and recount report by the Registrar of the Supreme Court in September 2022 revealed that each party was represented by 2 agents during the exercise. The exercise to scrutinize the servers was conducted under the supervision of the Registrar of the Court and her staff. The report released on the 1st of September 2022 revealed that a review of the access logs did not show the user Azimio claimed to have logged in on the 12th of August 2022. The report stated that no suspicious activities were detected. The agents also requested to see the audit logs for user root during the election period. Upon the retrieval of the logs from the 8th to 29th of August 2022, no suspicious activities were detected. During the scrutiny, the report says that logs were provided but no suspicious activities were discovered. IEBC, however, could not display the password policy on the server for security reasons. Azimio leader Raila Odinga on Thursday said that anti-government protests will continue alongside bipartisan talks. Raila attributed this to what he termed as the government's lack of commitment to the talks, among them requests to open the IEBC server. Nancy Okwari, Easy Friday.
Meanwhile, Ifteen FM radio station, an affiliate of Kenya Broadcasting Corporation that broadcasts in Somalia language, has donated an assortment of foodstuff to intellectually challenged children in Garissa Special School. Now, the donation was part of the station's gesture of giving back to society during this holy month of Ramadan.
Amidst natural disasters and the high cost of living, section residents of Garissa County are forced to choose between buying food, water or medicine in this holy month of Ramadan.
Leo sina wasiwasi jua hiyo kijana yangu na jua hii mwezi yote. Hii siku 7 imebakia Ramadhani mpaka karibu mwezi 2-3. Hii chakula KBC wameniletea wakishirikiana na Star 15 FM. Nimefurahi sana.
Furahi sana kwa sababu tumepata wageni kutoka 15 FM ambao wamekuja kutufanikisha kidogo na chakula ya kutupeleka siku kadhaa. Sio jambo la kawaida na tunafurahia sana, tunashukuru.
KBC 15 FM head of station Mohamed Elmi and assistant brand manager Alex Karega said the donation was part of the station's corporate social responsibility during this holy month of Ramadan.
KBC 15 FM, we are part of the society. We are one. That's why we are here. And it's not only during the time of Ramadan. We also do other CSR activities throughout the entire year.
For KBC to be where it is right now, and through 15 FM, we are happy to be part and parcel of all the society, what we call taking care of the society. We know drought has hit so many places, and so during this period of Ramadan, we thought it's very kind for us to come and share some food, with the less fortunate in the society, and we are happy to do so.
Garissa Special School head teacher Mohamed Abdi Ahmed urged other organizations to emulate KBC in helping the less fortunate in society.
KBC has made a stride, and it is not, if it has reached the intellectually challenged who are even despised by the community themselves, then it means they are able to reach the society without any form of discrimination.
What a beautiful gesture there indeed. Now, moving on. Keyboard warriors are said to have the greatest fear of failure. Trust this unforgiving generation that always has a camera at hand to indiscriminately capture any perceived failure. This week saw all kinds of fails, and the unrelenting savage netizens had a field day truly.
Everywhere you look, there's always a camera ready to capture different moments. For that, be wary what you do, or else you might find yourself trending.
Talk about always making the headlines. Our Right Honorable Deputy President Riggy G himself became the talk of town after joining the Muslim community for prayers.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Indeed, there is never a dull moment online. Steve Wandering wrote, "Is that Riggy G or am I seeing my own things?" Nicholas responded, "Riggy G is like, what?" Sir Fred with some recommendations. He could have gone through some training before going there. Ndungu, agree. A script gone wrong. Twala in a sensible tone wrote, "I think it was just a way to show unity and realization that they know Muslims are fasting." Grace, concluding on the matter, tweeted, "Allow me to laugh." But this was not the only fail of the week, for more epic failures were yet to unfold. Midweek, a shoddy contractor's work was discovered at the heart of Bomet. Most netizens were left amused as the contractor seemed to have built barriers instead of bridges. Of course, these caught wildfires online.
Oh my God!
Fidel tweeted, "Hapa contractor alikuwa attachment." Devi asked, "Ai, surely how do you put up something like that na unaita bridge?" Sir James wrote, "Sasa contractor kungoja simiti ikauke ni kitu ya kuweka mtu kwa news surely." Kopande Employing Critical Thinking wrote, hiyo bridge imefanywa vizuri, ni barabara inafaa kuinuliwa sasa.
Ulisikia wapi? Ulisikia wapi?
But let's sum up the week with the latest flabbergasting fail. Well, Manchester United, I'm even afraid to mention them yet again. But what can I say? That team never fails to create its own dramatic moments. Last night, Man U players scored 4 goals, but the game ended 2-2, for 2 of the goals were own goals. Crazy, right? Matthew on a savage mode tweeted, "Let's all laugh at Man United." Gabu, captioning the image of Maguire and Malacia, wrote, "These men put smiles on so many faces." Patrick sarcastically tweeted, "Thank you for your service, Harry Maguire." Yusuf in Maguire's defense, "That is not his fault. The ball accidentally touched his head." Well, like Yusuf, Man U fans will continue to defend their toxic relationship with their club because hawaski, just like Meja said in this banger.
Siski, 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 niliambiwa nimuache Siski.
Well, that's it for us. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Welcome back. It's time to get right into matters business. Now, containers will not be accepted into ports if they are not declared and logged into KRA and KPA custom systems to avoid a backlog of port approvals. This is in a raft of changes to be implemented by the Kenya Ports Authority that will ensure 24-hour port operations through system integration and synchronization. These were among resolutions reached by KRA, Transport and Trade Ministries' aims to tackle export logistics and reduce cargo clearance delays. Take a look.
The government in September directed swift and seamless cargo clearances at the port of Mombasa to facilitate trade in the East African region. This has, however, slowed in recent months, with importers forced to spend days awaiting cargo clearance, occasioned by a multiplicity of scans by several state agencies. The government has now adopted a multi-agency approach to solve this, where importers will be required to have approvals from all relevant agencies before admission of entry.
Kenya Ports Authority and Kenya Revenue Authority will not accept containers into the port if not declared and logged into the ICMS custom systems and Kilindini Waterfront Automated Terminal Operation System, otherwise known as QATOS, at the point of acceptance.
Ease of doing business, that is it. It must be very easy for anyone to export goods through the port of Mombasa. It must be very easy for anyone to import goods through the port of Mombasa. And it must also do that within a framework that maximizes on revenue collection by the Kenya Revenue Authority.
For perishable goods, exporters will be required to secure clearance from authorities at the point of loading to facilitate a track and tracing mechanism. This, however, is subject to a 24-hour cut-off system that will serve as acceptance time for fresh produce.
KRA has committed to open customs office in Tanzania to mirror Uganda and enhance customs before border points at Moyale. This will be followed by interministerial visit of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania and Ethiopia ministers to the border points.
Relevant agencies will also be expected to streamline and introduce bonded warehouses which will be used to inspect used vehicles. Moreover, the Kenya Revenue Authority will fast-track the inclusion of relevant agencies in the operationalization of authorized economic operators to ensure faster cargo clearance.
Tuko na nia ya kuhakikisha kwamba kwa miaka mitatu inayokuja KPA ikuwe tayari imefanya biashara ya port iende juu kutoka ile tunasema 1.5 million TUs wakati huu. Ifikapo mwisho wa mwaka huu tunataka wakuwa wamefika 1.6 na kwa miaka mitatu wakuwa wamefika TUs milioni 2.
In order to achieve the zero long stay container policy, KRA would also open custom offices in Tanzania for regional integration and faster achievement of collaboration between the two countries. Hibak Said for Easy Friday.
Now, the government is nudging agro-processors to increase the uptake of locally produced raw materials to boost the agriculture industry. Micro, Small and Medium Principal Secretary Susan Mangeni, use of locally produced material remains low despite Kenya being an agrarian economy. She spoke during a meeting with various manufacturers.
The agriculture sector contributes close to 30% to Kenya's gross domestic product, employing almost 70% of the country's labor force. The industry also accounts for almost 80% of Kenya's export basket, where 90% of all exports are in raw form. The government is now urging manufacturers to increase the uptake of locally sourced raw materials for value addition.
We want to see how do we mobilize these people? How do we build their capacity around opportunities so that now we start enterprising, for example, in agricultural sector farming.
Speaking during a meeting with manufacturers, Micro, Small and Medium Principal Secretary Susan Mangeni has said the government is in the process of establishing agro-processing zones in every county to reduce transport costs and lower post-harvest losses.
Most of MSME players are still unbanked, unserved, and nobody reaches them down there.
Manufacturers say the low uptake of locally sourced raw goods is caused by a major disconnect in the agricultural value chain. The manufacturers say Kenya has the capacity to improve this if the manufacturers integrate local producers in the agricultural value chain.
We are starting from the market. We are, as agro-processors, we are the market. Of course, the consumer is the end market, but we are the market for those raw products. So once we aggregate this and we start working backwards, CAM is playing the role of convening power, bringing the processors, the financiers, the government in terms of policy, technology, how to access the farmers. So we want to work together to bring this ecosystem.
Agro-processing currently contributes 2.4% to national employment and 3.2% to Kenya's gross domestic product, while accounting for 8.5% of exports.
Farming still remains our backbone. However, we've only been looking at it from a subsistence perspective, from a food perspective, and not subsistence level. So most of our farmers have been farming for their own seasonal, food provision.
Backward integration, a new concept that the Kenya Association of Manufacturers is trying to push to local producers in order to ensure that value addition is done to products at the source for more income. Hibak Said for Easy Friday.
Moving on, plans are underway to set up a 55 million shillings rice mill in Usonga by the Siaya County government. Siaya Governor James Orengo says the operationalization of the rice mill will go a long way in stemming the exploitation of farmers by unscrupulous traders.
Rice farming in Kenya faces various challenges, including the high cost of inputs such as fertilizers, pesticides and seeds, inadequate infrastructure for irrigation and post-harvest losses due to poor storage facilities. However, efforts are being made to address these challenges.
With this mill, we are going to be able to use about 70% of the paddy or thereabouts is going to be the white long grain rice for human consumption.
The 55 million shillings project will empower farmers process their grain for better prices.
And it's the only actually mill which is going to be of that capacity, handling the process of value addition in Siaya. I know we got a fruit thing in Asembo, another small one in Siaya town. But in terms of scale, this rice mill is a beacon showing where we want to go.
Orengo urged farmers to increase the acreage under rice to meet the capacity of the processor that is expected to begin operations later this year. Regina Manyara reporting for Easy Friday.
What am I forgetting? Nini, workers paid, rent checked, mlango locked, visiting notices, goza mzae silitoa jana la internet sorted. What is it? What am I forgetting?
Nini, nimesahau kucheza Loto Moto.
Usisahau kucheza Loto Moto. Unaweza shinda hadi milioni 2 kwenye M-Pesa. Chagua lipa na M-Pesa. Paybill number, weka 7577. Account number, weka neno Loto. Weka kiwango chochote cha pesa kuanzia shilingi 50 hadi 2000. Lipa kisha subiri draw. Ujumbe huu umeidhinishwa na BCLP.
Kupata maisha kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza *811 *816#.
Maisha ni mafupi, hivyo si vyema kumaliza muda mwingi katika malumbano. Hesabu baraka zako, wathamini rafiki zako na tabasamu ili udumishe amani.
Kupata maisha, bonyeza *811 *816#. *811 *816#.
Buda. Umekama na mazawadi za mafanse. Wachana na hizi. Nataka nikuambia kwamba Dunda ndio hivyo tena imerejea ndani ya KBC Channel 1 kuanzia Ijumaa hii itakuwa ndani. Au niaje bro?
Nakwambia maswala, michakato, habari, mitazamo, mahojiano na masuala yote ya sport unayopokea moja kwa moja kutoka Dunda ndani ya KBC Channel 1 kila siku ya Ijumaa.
Viwanjani. Na ndio sababu nakufahamisha kwamba mtu wangu bwana kuanzia Ijumaa hii. Yaani tunakuletea soka ya humu nchini, barani Afrika na zaidi ya yote kutoka kule ughaibuni. Sawa sawa. Lakini yote tisa bwana, usisahau ya kwamba mashabiki pia huku nako hatujawaacha nyuma. Au sio? Zawadi hapa ni
bila
free of charge.
Yani bila malipo.
Kila shabiki atakuwa anapata zawadi. Ndio sababu nakwambia kwamba kuanzia Ijumaa hii Dunda viwanjani ndani ya KBC Channel 1. Mambo moto au sio?
Sports News is brought to you by Mozart Bet.
Kurumisha ndege. Aviator instant game. Be a daring pilot and earn by how much high you can lift the plane. The higher you fly, the higher your win. The sky is the limit. Mozart Bet.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Let's now take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now, Veterans Sikh Union will play Impala Masters tomorrow in the opening game of this year's Vaisakhi International Hockey Tournament, which has attracted 11 teams from 3 countries. The 8-day tournament will be played in 2 categories, the Masters and Open Tournament, and will end on the 22nd of this month.
The Vaisakhi International Hockey Tournament will be making a return, with 3 countries competing in this year's tournament that will start tomorrow and run through to 22nd of this month. The opening game will be played tomorrow evening between Veterans Sikh Union against Impala Masters. The 3 countries competing will be Kenya, Malaysia and United Kingdom. The tournament will be played in 2 categories, the Masters and Open Tournament, with all matches being played at Sikh Union.
Abroad are 2 teams from England playing in the Masters and playing in the Open. 2 teams from England, 2 teams from Malaysia. It's a team called Matador Hockey Club, seniors and open team.
Western Jaguars, Kenya Police, Blue Oceans and Host Sikh Union will represent Kenya in the 2 categories.
Our local teams here in the main group are Kenya Police and Western Jaguars. They are the 2 teams that make up the 5 teams in the Open.
The main aim of the tournament is to grow the game in Kenya, as well as to recruit players who can join and strengthen the international Kenyan teams.
So the idea is to bring back hockey back into Sikh Union and also help Kenya Hockey Union with whatever we produce for the national team for juniors and seniors.
6 teams will play in Masters category, while 5 teams will compete in the Open tournament played in a round-robin format. For Channel 1 Sports, I'm Sela Onyango.
Thank you, Sela, for that report. Moving on, leaders Gor Mahia and second placed Tusker FC have very difficult assignments on Sunday in their pursuit of this season's Kenya Premier League title. Gor Mahia will welcome Posta Rangers at the Nyayo National Stadium, while Tusker host Kenya Police at their Ruaraka ground.
With no Kenyan Premier League match being played tomorrow, 8 matches are lined up for Sunday, with 1 match being pushed to Monday. Gor Mahia and Tusker, the 2 sides leading the table, have difficult matches on Sunday, with Gor Mahia playing Posta Rangers while Tusker face Kenya Police. Gor Mahia and Posta have an almost similar record of 3 wins in their last 5 matches, but Posta have lost the 2 matches Gor Mahia have drawn. Gor will be hoping to avoid defeat, just as Posta will be avoiding a 3rd defeat in 6 matches. Tusker, who have 4 wins and 1 draw in their last 5 matches, will take on a Kenya Police side that has 2 wins and 3 draws in their last 5 matches, and both sides are looking to avoid defeat. Tusker are second on 48 points, 8 points above Police, who are 5th on the table. Other matches on Sunday's top flight card will see City Stars play Vihiga Bullets, Ulinzi Stars host Kariobangi Sharks, Bandari visit Bidco, Nzoia Sugar play Mathare United, Kakamega Homeboys clash with AFC Leopards, while KCB play Wazito. On Monday, Talanta will play Sofapaka.
Thank you very much, Buckley, for that report. Now on to some rugby story. Cabra's Sugar tactician Carlos Katwa is optimistic as his side prepares for Saturday's Enterprise Cup title defense against perennial nemesis KCB at Nairobi's RFUA ground -9 squad members. The Enterprise Cup final will be a repeat of last year when Cabras defeated KCB 9-6 in a try-less encounter to lift the title.
Ephraim Oduor, Teddy Akala, Hilary Manjilwa, George Nyambua, Hilary Odhiambo, Jensen Musoga, Ntambeni Dukisa, Walter Koth and Lafred Orege are away on Currie Cup duty with the Simbas, but Cabra Sugar tactician Carlos Katwa sees this as an opportunity for the remaining squad members to step up. The reigning Kenya Cup champions humbled Menengai Oilers 1917 in the semi-finals, while the Bankers registered a convincing 64-3 victory over Impara Saracens in Waraka. Meanwhile, KCB will miss the services of Thomas Okidia, Griffin Musila, Elvis Olukisi, Samuel Asati, Brian Wahinya and Peter Kilonzo, who are away on Currie Cup duty with the Simbas. Saturday's Enterprise Cup final will be a repeat of last year, where Cabra Sugar defeated KCB 9-6 in a trial-less encounter to lift the title. The match will be preceded by the national final between Mombasa and JKUAT and the Mwamba Cup final between KCB 2 and Kenya Harlequin 2.
Thank you, Karanja, for that report. Now, finally, Manchester United conceded 2 own goals and lost Lisandro Martinez to a serious injury in the final 6 minutes against Sevilla to put their Europa League hopes in jeopardy. Meanwhile, Juventus narrowly beat Sporting 1-0 in the first leg of their Europa League quarter-final at Allianz Stadium.
It's welcome to Manchester.
Manchester United look to be coasting to quarter-final first leg victory at Old Trafford thanks to Marcel Sibiza. First half gone.
And my colleagues report, King Ori, brings us to the end of the sports news tonight. There is definitely lots of football activities this weekend. We have 8 fixtures on the KPL card on Sunday, 10 fixtures on the EPL card this weekend, 7 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and 1 fixture on Monday. So no time for boredom this weekend. My name is Karen Kibet. Do have yourself a peaceful night. The broadcast is not yet over, as my colleague Shiksha Arora will be back after this short break. Don't go too far.
Sports News was brought to you by Mozart Bet.
Nafasi yako ya kuwa mdosi wako. Jiunge na washindi tufanye biashara. Kuwa mshindi. Mozart Bet.